All right, opponent is going first. We're going to keep this hand. Ideally going freighter into something. Freighter into Rhino, I suppose, makes sense. I'm not going to hold off a turn. Actually, I get to hold off a turn. It's kind of sweet, actually. I get to play freighter into Rhino. Well, could do freighter into freighter, but that's just crazy. We don't need to do that. All right. So go Rhino. Do our handicraft. Crew. So we trade a freighter, but he can get it back. But I think we're quick enough where this is still going to be okay. Like, he still has to deal with the Rhino, too. All right. Okay, so yeah, we're just going to go freighter here. And next turn we might have to guide plus welding sparks, but which means we won't be able to pump the guide off the handicraft, but I'm not sure yet. I mean, we're still definitely ahead on the race here. All right. Ooh, wayward giant, huh? All right, well, we're going to play the guide. We're not going to handicraft it up. Get in with these. All right, so we'll welding sparks the Harrier. All right. So opponent goes to 9, and yeah. That's going to make things pretty difficult. Let's see. So if I attack with both, my opponent has to block or they die to durable handicraft, so I guess that means we just attack with both. Okay. So we'll get in for... Jeez. My opponent's a land away from getting a Thopter and being able to replay this, too. That Daredevil's a good card. All right, so... Get in for that. I guess they can just... Well, they're still a land away from doing it. I think we may actually... Well, I guess my opponent being at 5 is actually a pretty important number. It means both of my guys are lethal with this handicraft. Yeah, I mean, I still am going to have to attack with both. And my opponent has to double block this to not die and block this to not die. So at least 3 of my opponent's things are going to die. And I could just rip a Pyrohelix and I'd be in pretty awesome shape there too. Especially if my opponent attacks with the Screecher. Alright, not attacking this time, so playing it safe. But we still get the win. So kill both of these. And our opponent is dead. Actually, I guess our opponent's not dead. Actually, they weren't dead. Well, yeah, they weren't dead because I didn't have the mana to pump with handicraft. So basically, they would have had to just lose both their guys to the giant and then take 4 and go to 1 and be left with nothing. But yes, they technically were not dead there. I mean, they at least had another draw step. I would have played it out, but maybe they just didn't do the math. I didn't even do the math right away. I didn't even notice that that had happened. That was still a very close game. So Puzzle Knot deals with Screecher and it deals with the what's his face, the Malphus squad. So I'm not totally opposed to that. I mean, it sort of deals with Trinketeer too. So I could run the Puzzle Knot over the Built-A-Smash. Might be better on the draw too. My opponent plays a turn 3 Screecher. I get to go Puzzle Knot. I think I'm gonna swap those out. I saw just a couple X1s, but Screecher is gonna want to die. And he's got a lot of X2s that I want to kill too. So even though it costs 5 mana to do that, hey, in a pinch, could be very important. So, all right, we'll swap those out. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep this. So we get to go Cobra into Rhino into Doorbuster. Not bad. So we'll take our medicine here. No play. Sage isn't a bad draw either. Okay. Okay, so I can play the Doorbuster here and pass. Kind of sets us up nicely for a Pyrohelix and a Sage next turn. We can just Pyrohelix and Sage now too, which is pretty good. Problem, well, is that really... I'm trying to think if that is a problem. It probably isn't. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. All right, let's just Helix this, because it's going to set our opponent behind. So then we're going to attack with the Cobra while we have the green mana up, because I'm totally willing to make that trade. So we'll trade there, get in for our 3 damage, and pass. Our other option there was take a turn off and Doorbuster, but this is okay. I mean, Daredevil is good action with these artifacts, admittedly, but I don't know. Ooh. So I think we Sage, attack with Rhino, takes it. I could leave up Pyrohelix in case my opponent's got the... Well, if my opponent has Trinketeer, I'll just Pyrohelix that. Okay, we'll play the Monitor. All right. Sounds good. Seems good, one could say. Okay. So we can do this and attack with these two. Leaves a Sage back because I don't want to trade a Servo for a 2/1. Ooh. This is where Pyrohelix really shines, huh? Yeah. And there's a glaring example of why Pyrohelix is a really good card. Daredevil's putting in some legwork for my opponent, though. Give him credit there. But we're still just smashing away on our opponent here. Alright, so this guy Menace. Make it so this guy can't block. All right. Got there. Still a pretty close match, actually. I mean, this game, we got to Wrecking Ball right as we hit the Mana Clump, too. Perfect timing. That's unusually good draws for Alex Stephenson. Wouldn't you all agree? All right. We'll see you in round 2.